All right, man. 210 Boxing TV here with Robert Garcia. All right, Robert. So yesterday morning, impressive knockout, Naoya Inoue, eighth round over Stephen Fulton. As a trainer, what did you see? And break it down for us.
It was impressive, bro. Everybody thought it would be maybe a little bit closer fight. Obviously, Inoue was the favorite to win, and I thought so too. But I thought Fulton was gonna give him a little bit more competition, but it looked like a real mismatch. It's gonna be hard, bro. Any going in against somebody like Inoue right now, that hurting everybody, kicking everybody's ass, and the word out there is the monster. Nobody's gonna be able to hang in there. No matter who's going in front of them, knowing that you're going in there against somebody that everybody's talking about as being so good and so strong. You could be the bravest man. You're gonna be worried going in there. Going in there against somebody like that. And I think that's what happened to Fulton. Because I've seen Fulton and he's very talented, fast. He's talented, man. But in the ring against Inoue, he just fought a little worried. Trying to avoid getting hit a lot with those hard punches, and eventually Inoue caught him with a fucking nice right hand that hurt him, and then got him with that hook that put him down. So it's gonna be hard to see somebody really give Inoue a fight. It's gonna be hard. I think we'll see that when we see him move up in weight a little bit closer to maybe junior lightweight, because featherweight, I think featherweights could give him a better fight, but I think he'll still dominate at junior lightweight, because they're gonna be bigger, stronger. So he's gonna see more challenges when he moves up in weight. Right now, I don't think anybody at 122 is gonna have a chance against him. Whoever he fights, and then more likely it's gonna be for the undisputed title, and the guys are just gonna be lucky that they fucking have Inoue fighting him in this time, fighting them, because they know that's the biggest fucking payday of their lives, and they're gonna take it. Fulton, I'm not saying he went for the money, but I'll bet you he got paid more than he's ever made before in his whole career. So he took it. The champion, the other one with the other two belts, he's gonna take it because it's gonna be a huge payday for him, but he knows he's pretty much has no chance against Inoue.
Do you feel like Inoue beats Marlon Tapales and becomes undisputed again?
Oh, definitely, bro, definitely, and he's gonna become undisputed, and then he's gonna move up to featherweight and challenge, some of top featherweights out there, and I think they're gonna get a little bit harder because they're bigger, they're stronger. So I'm telling you, that's when we're gonna probably see a few more challenges. But even at 26, I think he still dominates. But then junior lightweight will probably be where he sees where we might see him in tougher fights.
Do you think Venado Lopez, Robeisy?
Yeah, those guys will give him tougher fights. Robeisy is very skillful, very talented. So those guys are not easy for him. Venado Lopez is also very strong and will give him a really good fight. But I think Venado it has a lot of openings where Inoue will catch him and eventually beat him. But see, they're bigger, they're featherweights, so I think they'll give him more challenges. But I still see him beating them.
Do you feel like with Fulton, right? Do you feel like when Inoue was throwing his punches, Fulton was going for the feints too much? And
like I told you, I think going in there, you got to give him credit for going all the way to Japan and fighting him over there. But you also have to think about it. And think, okay, he went over there, yes, so give him credit for that. But he also went over there because he probably got the biggest payday. Like I said,
I think he made $3 million.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think he had never been anything close to that. Maybe he never made that in his whole career. I don't see him. You know what I mean? So he went over there because that was the biggest fucking payday of his career. But you could tell, since the bell rang, his punches, he was the first jab he threw, he pulled it right away, knowing that fucking Inoue could counter. So he threw the jab, but pulled it right away. Go back and check it out. That's the first thing I noticed. Pulled the jab right away. Worried about that counter, worried about getting hit. And he boxed. He tried to box, but never really tried. Like, okay, let's go at it. I think I have a chance. He kind of went in there thinking I don't have a chance, and and but like I said, he still made the biggest pay to changed his life. He's gonna be able to, if he invests his money right and does the right thing, he could be set for the rest of his life.
Now we have big fight: Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. It's finally here, literally days away. What do you think happens? What do you think happens, and who do you got coming out?
Man, you know what? That fucking fight is the fight that in many years we we had to see. We had to happen. We've this year has probably been one of the best years in boxing in the last 10 years. Maybe it's been a great year in boxing. We've had Ryan versus Tang. Inoue just fucking had a awesome performance. That's just to name a few. But Crawford Spence in the boxing world is the fight that we all want to see, and the best fight of the whole year. Even though Ryan versus Tank I'm pretty sure they're gonna do much better numbers when it comes to pay-per-view because of their popularity. But when it comes to the fight being so close, I think this is a fight, man. It's a 50-50 fight. I've said it many times. I don't know why I lean towards Crawford, but I don't even know why. Because there's no reason. There's maybe because I know him a little bit more. I've seen him develop since he was young through Top Rank and followed his career. I could have a conversation with him. He's cool. Him and Bomac are, we've always, because we fought him in the amateurs, and we always, remember those stories. So I kind of have a more of a relationship with him than with Spence. So that's probably why I'm probably picking him, because if it's boxing skills, power, defense, whatever, I don't see anybody being better than the other. I think it's just such a close fight.
With Spence, right? A lot of people talk about the size. Do you think Spence will be too big for Crawford?
Well, you know what? After the weigh-in, obviously during the weigh-in, they're gonna weigh the same, but Spence might be the one that gets a lot bigger and gains a few more pounds than Crawford. But they're both very talented. Where I don't think that's gonna make a big difference. I think it's gonna be such a good fight that we're all gonna enjoy. I don't think it's gonna be one of those like a big difference in weight. Even though I think Spence might be the heavier guy walking into the ring, but it's still gonna be a 50-50 fight. I don't think that's gonna be a reason why I could pick Spence to win.
Now, also, you're here this weekend for the Top Rank card. Talk about the fighters you're working with, Balderas and Xavier.
Yeah, I have. You know what? Pretty interesting fights too, because those two are kind of new in my gym. Balderas, this is my first fight working with Balderas, and he's in there, a solid fight. But Balderas is very talented, man. He came to the gym and doing meets with them, and when he's sparring, he's got really good skills. Since he was an amateur, going to the Olympics, coming back from the Olympics, I actually reached out to them, to his uncle and dad, and I told him, hey, you guys are from Southern California, you're more about going north of California, but it's still considered Southern California, Central Valley, Central California. So I said, you know what, if you guys ever need help, advice, feel free to reach out to me. I offered my help. They obviously did their own thing, but eventually they came to me. Now they're with me, and I'm very happy working with him because he's very talented. But he's in there already, in the fights where we're not picking the opponents to where we're building them up from 4 rounds. I'm already getting him when he's fighting solid fights against solid opponents. So that's kind of like the hard part, but he's ready for it. He's in good shape. Had great sparring in my gym, bro. Sparring can't get any better because I have fucking the sparring I have in my gym every day, every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. All 3 rings, you don't even know which ring to go because all sparring matches are great. So he's in great shape. we have confidence that everything's gonna turn out, go our way. With Xavier, same thing. This is my first fight working with Xavier. He already had one fight with us, but I wasn't here in for that fight. He trained with my son and Chepe, because I was in England with Anthony Joshua, so I wasn't even here for his fight. But he he had a great win that night. This is my first fight working his corner. He's in a tough fight. He's fighting this kid from Vegas. Can't think of his name right now, man. But fuck, it'll come to my mind right now. But he's in a real fight. It's a very close fight. It's a 50-50 fight. They were told Cortez something.
Oh yeah.
His last name is Cortez. So we were told. I don't know if Cortez was told the same, but I'm thinking he did. If you guys, whoever wins this fight, possibly fights for a world title next. So it's a very important fight for both. I know it's a 50-50 fight. They're both hungry to win this fight because the next fight could be for a world title fight. So that's gonna be it. That's a co-main event. That's gonna be a fight that the junior lightweight is gonna be looking into, because the winner goes to the next level, maybe a title fight, or at least gets up there to be soon to fight for the title. And whoever doesn't win, got to go back to the drawing board and get back to work and get back to the bottom.